Shut up and sit down.
Welcome to my new channel. A little bit about me. My name's Dan. I'm about 20 days away from finishing a 20-year career in the U.S. Army. I'm retiring as a Sergeant First Class, which has been an interesting ride. I just finished the Troops Transportation School, and as the title of this video said, you know, the inside scoop on Troops Transportation. I'm going to kind of tell you what I thought about it from my point of view, and tell you what I got going on in the future, and hopefully you guys want to hit that subscribe button and follow along and see what happens. So we'll start with Troops Transportation. It's a program, if you're a veteran or a soldier, that you basically go to truck driving school and use your Montgomery or post 9/11 GI Bill, or I guess it's called the Forever GI Bill or something like that now. And the question is it worth it? Well, it depends on what your expectations are. If your expectations are to come out of there with a CDL and get a job, yes. Now, if you look at it from a financial point of view, if I wanted to use my GI Bill to chill out and make some money, then not so much. The school is a sub-company of the CDL school, and they will bill you 5 months of your GI Bill, or 4 months if you got a skills waiver. You know, if you were a truck driver in the military, or a mechanic or a master driver, you know, something where you can waive the skills test, then they only bill you for 4 months. So for me, I got billed for 4 months, came out at $9,800. And we'll use my class as an example. There was 15 people in my class. They run a class every week for the most part, with the exception maybe Christmas, New Year's, and maybe a week or two that they don't get booked up. So the guys in my class, we did the math on it, and roughly just the Fort Hood Academy makes $5.5 million a year. And that money is basically just profit for the CDL school. The instructors were using Walmart Lifetime plastic fold-up tables as desks. The equipment is beat up and run down. And an instructor even told me what their maintenance budget was for the year. And honestly, I think they could do better. But like I said, if your outcome is to just get a CDL, you'll come out of there with a CDL. You'll come out of there with job offers from their partner companies. So, I mean, it does what it's designed to do. Make the CDL school money and get you a job. But anyway, let's get into it. Week one. Week one, in my opinion, was a complete waste of time. You could knock out week one on your own. Basically what they did is they went over 2 or 3 PowerPoint presentations on local rules and some federal guidelines, and then they handed you the state manual for the CDL study guide, which you could download online, because I read the entire manual before I ever started the school, only to find out that they handed me the manual. And then you take practice tests all day long, from 8 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock at night. You just keep taking practice test, practice test, practice test, practice test, practice test. And basically what the concept of the operation is you memorize the test. The state test is dang near, or their practice tests are worded dang near word for word as the state test. So you knock that out, and that's all you do all week. And then next week, Monday morning, you go to the state office and you take your state test. for or your state written test. And if you don't have a skills waiver, then you get your learner's permit. If you do have a skills waiver, then you've got a CDL. Now, does that mean you can go get hired by a company? Probably not, because most companies require you attend a truck driver school. And I actually want to say it might be either a state or a federal requirement. So anyway, that's week 1. Week 2, like I said, you go in, you take your state written test, and then you report to the classroom. Now, you actually learn some stuff in week 2. Cover a lot of stuff that you'll need to know as a driver. Went over logbooks, load adjustment, pre-trip inspection, which is something that you get tested on at the state level when you do your driving test. And then week 2 was strictly classroom. Went over logbooks, trip planning, map reading. Basically, week 2 was worth it. And it's a lot of information given to you really quick. Week 3, you're not in the classroom at all. You spend half your day on the range doing backing maneuvers. And the second half of the day, you get broke down into groups of 4. They throw you in a truck, and you take turns driving. So week 1, you did straight line backing, which, if you've never backed a trailer before, it's kind of difficult. If you've never driven a manual transmission before, it's kind of difficult. And then you do your drive 1. Drive 1 is a tractor trailer, automatic transmission, and just kind of get you used to pulling a trailer and making them wide turns. Then you get into offset backing. Offset backing is you're lined up here, but you need to back up over here. So you can swing your trailer around. And then your drive 2 is, holy cow, think, Dan. Okay, your drive 2 is first time in a manual transmission with a bobtail. And basically they put you they put us on a frontage road, and we came from a stop, ran up through the gears all the way up to 9, then back down to the gears through 4. Back up, back down, back up, back down. And then once you make the loop, then somebody else gets in there, and the same thing, and then the same thing. Drive 3, bobtail again, manual transmission, but this time instead of going on a frontage road with no traffic, you go down a road with a lot of stoplights, a lot of traffic, so you're expected to do a lot more shifting. And then you test out on straight line backing and offset backing. That pretty much rounds out week 2. Week 3, then you've got a couple more drives. Now you're manual transmission tractor trailer. Each drive gets a little bit longer, or you're in town working on negotiating that manual transmission in traffic and negotiating right hand and left hand turns. And then you get into parallel parking. Parallel parking with a semi-truck is pretty much the same procedure as offset backing. You just use the same reference points, and you just back up to a different point. And then at the end of week 4, if you're a CDL guy, then you just take your tests for the school. You take your pre-trip test, you take your school road test, and you're done. You go and take your endorsements with the state. You study for those during week 2, in between PowerPoint classes. If you are a non-skills waiver guy, then at the end of week 4, you will take your test for the school, which basically gives you a practice for your state test. So you'll take your pre-trip, and then you'll take your driver's test. And basically what they did is for your pre-trip, you did the same pre-trip inspection that you drew for the state test. So you know exactly where you screw up, and you know exactly where you got to improve. And then for the drive test, they take you on the exact same route that the state examiner is going to take you on. So you know where you're going to screw up, and you know where you need to improve. So all in all, it's pretty simple. You should, if you take the course and you pay attention, you should come out of there with your commercial driver's license, CDLA, hazmat endorsement, doubles and triples endorsement, and your taker endorsement. All for the state that you're in. Now, I know they've got these schools in Texas and Fort Lewis for sure. I think there might be one in Florida. I don't know for sure on that. But I know they've got a few of these schools. So if you're getting out of the military and you're looking to pursue a job in the driving industry, it's a good place to start. Other cool thing about the GI Bill is a lot of these companies, they offer tuition reimbursement. So they will pay you back over time for the GI Bill money that you put into it. And you can also do an internship program where you can collect your BAH for your GI Bill while you're driving for a company. Now, another cool thing about this program is they do have partner carriers. Most of them are mega carriers like Warner, Schneider, Swift. Now, a lot of people don't want to drive for mega carrier, but you should be able to hire on directly out of the school with one of these carriers. So that's basically the rundown of Troops Transportation. If you have any questions or comments about the Troops Transportation program, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you want to follow me on this journey, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. I should be reporting to orientation in about a month. All I've got really left to do is clear the Army and get past my permissive TDY where I'm not legally allowed to work. And I'll report to orientation, do the orientation, and hit the road training. And in about 2 months, I should have my own truck, and we'll take you guys across the country and show you what I'm doing. All right, well, anyway, thanks for watching. And once again, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.